Yeah, this is great news. And to go and kind of break it down and put it in perspective for you. So with President Trump leading in these Sun Belt states, we talk about Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, that means he just needs to get one of the Great Lakes states. We talk about Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. You just have to get one. And poll after poll shows President Trump leading in Pennsylvania. We've seen polls showing us narrow leading in Wisconsin. And same thing with Michigan, showing us with a slight lead there. But he only needs to win one of those. I think he's in position to go and sweep the table like he did in 2016. But the reason, Rob, and you asked what has changed, what's become different? President Trump over the last couple of weeks has really started to lay out his vision. Here's what he's going to do on taxes and to bring prices down in the economy. Here's what he's going to do to secure our border. But Kamala Harris has either been hiding from the media or she goes on to shows like Oprah and can't answer a basic question and gives some gobbledygook word salad that goes viral and people realize, hey, there doesn't seem to be a lot going on there.
Yeah, meantime, what's going on at the White House? Jill Biden led the first Biden cabinet meeting in 11 months over the weekend. I think it was Friday at the White House. And then this scene, very bizarre, Jason, but Joe Biden is in Delaware Saturday. The Prime Minister of India is on this very small stage they set up not far from Joe Biden's Rehoboth Beach house. And Joe Biden forgot that he was standing next to the Prime Minister of the largest democracy on the planet. And this happened. Take a look.
So I want to thank you all for being here. And now, who am I introducing next? Who's next?
Distinguished guests, the Prime Minister of the Republic of India.
Okay, so Jason, the reason I bring this out, Donald Trump's not running against, I agree with you, I'm shaking my head too. Donald Trump's not running against Joe Biden anymore, but Joe's still in charge, and we are on the precipice of a war in the Middle East, the likes of which we haven't seen in more than a generation. How concerned are you about this guy being able to handle that crisis should it arise?
I'm very concerned. I mean, I'm not comfortable that Joe Biden could handle tying his own shoes, let alone leading the country at this point. Do you want to know why Putin rolled into Ukraine? Do you want to know why Iran feels emboldened and they're sending money to Hezbollah and Hamas? And we're seeing the resulting attacks on Israel over this past year. It's because they smell weakness. Ever since the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, our foreign adversaries have realized that the lights might be on, but nobody is home with Joe Biden. This goes back to the point of who is really running the country. This is the question that you asked. I think Jill Biden is more of a figurehead on something like the cabinet, which, by the way, it's weird when you have the first lady lead a cabinet meeting. That just I don't even remember crooked Hillary doing that back in the day. But really, I think the person who's kind of the wizard behind the curtain here is Kamala Harris. She's the border czar. She's the one who he sent to the Munich conference to try to convince Russia to not invade Ukraine. She was the last one in the room for the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. Kamala Harris's fingerprints are all over the disasters from this administration. That's why if you want to get things back on track and turn it around, we got to get President Trump across the finish line.
Yeah. Where is the former president with the possibility of a third debate? I know right now that he's certainly publicly saying that he won't debate again. What if Kamala were to agree to a debate on Newsmax or on Fox, or a debate where Trump gets to pick a moderator and Kamala gets to pick a moderator? And the only reason I ask is typically we have debates, well into election season when people are already voting. In 2016, Trump debated Hillary on October 19th. That was less than 3 weeks before Election Day.
Well, I think President Trump is right. The date that Kamala Harris wants is too late. People are already starting to vote now. Even in my home state where I now live in Virginia, people started voting this past week. So people are out and voting. But also, too, the way that Kamala Harris immediately reacted and said she wanted another debate. It's because they know that the fundamentals of this race truly haven't changed. They think a stacked debate, another 3-on-1 encounter to try to go and swing some momentum her direction. But President Trump is saying, no, I'm not going to go and give you that opportunity to have a 3-on-1 pileup. I won the first debate. You lost it. Besides, I also debated Joe Biden. You just want this because you want to put it in an arena where you think that the mainstream media will try to be your friend and try to help you across the finish line. The fact of the matter is Kamala Harris has no vision. And what track record she does has led to the disaster with the economy and the border. So President Trump is in the driver's seat right now. I don't see another debate happening.
All right.